Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Forward Saturday, our weekly show where we meet passionate educators from all over the world. Today we have with us a senior physics teacher, one who understands what is real pastoral care. With 30 years of experience, a lifelong learner, pedagogy, public speaking, innovation, and above all, one who is a great motivator for peers, for young learners, and for the community around. She has been a student all along and perhaps didn't ever pass out of a school where she was there in a boarding and where she made some great learning and connections for her life. We have with us Arundhati Shukla, who shares her journey from a school to a school to a school, from Welham Girls School to the school she has taught in India and to where she is today. Welcome to the show, Arundhati. So wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you, Sandeep. It's an honor to me for me to be with you. Thank you so much. As you have rightly said that I have been in this teaching profession for 30 years. 30 years, 10,980 days, which amounts to almost 15 billion 76,000 minutes. It is a great amount of time and I need to condense it in 2 minutes. So it is a tough task for me to do. Can I, if you allow, can I relate my story with a story? So there is a story that I had heard long time back from my own teacher who was my mentor, Mrs. Jamila Singh. So when I was very young and I entered into the teaching profession at the age of 20 plus, this is the story that she told me. She was my mentor. She said that there was a time when a professor went for a very long voyage and there was one, you can say a person who, the fisherman, he also came along with him for this journey. So the first day the person asks the professor that, Professor, would you teach me? So he says, why not? We are together, so we will study together and I will teach you. So the first day the sailor goes to him and says, okay, teach me. Professor says, do you know anything about geology? So the sailor says, no, I don't know anything about geology. I've never heard of it. And professor was confused. He says, okay, you're living on this earth and you don't know about earth. 25% of your life is gone. The next day, sailor again comes and now the professor says, have you heard of oceanography? He says again, I don't know. So the professor says, you are always on your oceans and you don't know about oceanography. 50% of your life is gone. Third day he asks, okay, do you know about teaching is not only teaching what is there in the books, but it is the teaching of the life skills. This is how I would put my journey as. There are children who will come to us who will be gifted and there will be ordinary children. My aim has never been to differentiate between gifted and ordinary students. Rather, I have always tried to find the talent which is latent in the ordinary and find the gifts that have been lying dormant. This has been the essence of my teaching journey. I feel teaching is a human activity. Intellect does not teach intellect. It is the people who teach people. So there is, I think, high touch which is required over the high tech which we are talking about these days. Considering the pandemic time, we have seen how important is the knowledge of technology. So high tech is very important, but high touch, the human touch, is even more important. We have to think of the aptitude that a child has. The child has already come to my class with that DNA, the aptitude. But have I been able to develop the right attitude? That is what is the essence of good teaching. The content we all have learned in the books. But what is important is, am I able to give an extended context to my teaching? Am I able to wear multiple hats? Am I able to create eureka moments for my children? Am I able to create the treasure hunt for my children? Am I able to relate the fiction to the facts that are related in science? Is my child able to do the lateral thinking? Is she able to really visualize the power of imagination? Is she able to look beyond the visible and obvious? Is she able to discover the truth with a neutral, unbiased approach? That is what I aim to teach in my physics classes. I do teach them that success is important, but I also tell them failures are very, very important too. They do not define us, but they refine us. So the roller coaster ride of failures and success is inevitable. They are going to be there in their life. So I try to prepare them for both. That's how I teach.
Please stay with us. We will be back after a quick commercial break.
It's been wonderful working with Learning Forward, more so because I've had the golden opportunity of being the founder as well as the sponsor and the first chairperson of Learning Forward India. It was indeed an honor and privilege to stitch together the affiliate and bring in hundreds of people from all over the country as our members. In 3 years, we've come a long way. We have worked with a few dozen schools. What's most beautiful about Learning Forward is they are committed to raising the bar for the teaching and learning profession. And we as an affiliate strongly support that. And Learning Forward is but a natural step for everyone in life. Affiliate has to live by the spirit of Learning Forward. And John, not just be in design and policy, but in terms of purely connecting with the educators and helping them appreciate what they are doing. Affiliation is more about appreciating the spirit of learning. To understand the global implication of education, you must become an affiliate. Thank you for the roller coaster of your life. You mentioned something very interesting. You talked about inclusion.
Yes.
You talked about life skills. But you haven't shared with us as to why you as an individual, being a teacher, what has been the role of your family and people around you, and how you came about with this thinking where you feel life skills and inclusion are perhaps very essential for every child.
All right. I would like to tell you about a little bit about my early childhood. I belong to Lucknow, and I have always been a very good student. I have always been liked by my teachers. So you can say, a privileged kind of a student who was always hardworking and therefore got a lot of scholarships, and teachers always appreciated my hard work. But what was more important than the hard work that I put in my studies was that am I able to reach out to my classmates? Am I able to help them? As a student, I felt there were many students, many of my classmates who were not able to grasp the difficult concepts. And at those times, the teacher would really look up to me, okay, Arundhati, can you reteach this? So probably when as a student I was teaching and I was helping my own classmates, the interest for teaching was building up within me. Second reason I would say is because I was privileged to get very good teachers. As I said, Mrs. Jamila Singh, who later became my mentor at Mayo College Girls School, I saw how nicely she would connect and weave a story and teach. So I liked her way of communicating. I liked her way of relating things. So probably that must have been the reason why I was inclined towards teaching, but I did not know about it. In fact, if you ask me, is teaching that has come to me has come by choice or by chance. I would say by neither of the two. It was just that I was too young and my teacher asked me to come and teach physics. I went ahead. But at this point of time, what is more important is not whether I went into teaching profession by chance or choice, but it is why I decided to remain in this teaching profession decade after decade. I think teaching profession, which is always called a noble profession, it is a combination of multiple professions. I am a leader, I am a manager, I am a student, I am a teacher. So I am able to wear multiple hats. I am able to generate multiple stories. I am able to reach out to children who have different ways of learning. They say there are 16 types of personalities. So therefore there will be 16 types of students in any class. Am I able to connect with all those 16 type of personalities? That is what is a challenge to be a good teacher. And to be a good teacher, to have these 16 types of personalities inbuilt in you, you have to create a lot of stories. You have to create a lot of context. So this context building is what I say more important than the content that we teach in the class. So for example, I am reminded of one exhibition that we had maybe in 2010, way back in Welham Girls School. And I was teaching the concept of pinhole camera. Generally, it is always taught with the help of a shoebox. And children make a very small size shoebox pinhole camera. That year, I decided to make a room size pinhole camera. And we were able to get the inverted image in that room size pinhole camera of the summer house. And it was really a eureka moment for both the children and for me. And I loved it.
I love your Eureka moment. And what I really loved was what you said about mentorship and about looking at context. And even more than that, how you just grow up into what you love, what you like, what you do. We wish you a long life in your profession and raise a toast to mentorship, which teachers offer. Mentorship that makes us inwardly strong. Mentorship that makes us outwardly stronger to build the profession and take things ahead. Thank you so much, Arundhati, for being with us.
Thank you, Sandeep.